everyone, and you're welcome to today's True Talk. And I'm Odurole Mojibola, your Shoemaking Made Easy tutor. And today I'm going to be discussing with us or answering a question on how do I know whether a shoe last is for male or female? How do I pick my shoe last? How do I understand what exactly to buy when I'm buying a shoe last? I need you to sit back, and I'm gonna be right back. So, first of all, I need you to know that a female shoeless and a male shoeless are totally different. You have to understand that most female feet are not as wide as male feet. Now, I need you to understand that when it comes to some female feet, it's quite wide and almost as wide or even wider than a male's feet. So it doesn't necessarily mean that all females' feet are actually not wide. So when it comes to the shape of the shoe last, you'll find out that each of them differs. Now, I'm going to be talking about the wooden last first. If you consider the wooden last, particularly what we have available for us here in Nigeria, you hardly find shoe lasts that are meant for sandals for female. You hardly find them. You find most of them in shapes for men, especially when you are considering from size 40 upwards. You will definitely be seeing them in the shapes of men. And then when it comes to 39 downwards, then it's more like, it looks more feminine than masculine, although most of them you find that they are quite not having that perfect shape that most female shoeless has. Although when it comes to wooden covered shoeless are totally different. They are totally different. Even when you see them, you find out that they are totally different. Now, if you look at what I have on the screen, it's actually a female covered shoeless. But I find out that when it comes to wooden last here in Nigeria, both male and female, we tend to use the same shoe last for them because we have them available just like that. So don't get yourself confused. If you get to Nigerian markets here, you find that majorly what you see are actually men shoe last. I mean wooden shoe last. Please don't misquote me. Wooden shoe last, you find out that you have them mostly in male shapes. So when you're buying, you end up buying a male shoe last, and then you use it to make female shoes. I know somebody's already wondering, how do I do that? Then you need to sit down and continue to listen to this particular talk. Now, you understand that when you are buying in Nigeria, like I'm telling you what I have found out, and from the few markets I've been to, it might be different in your own area. Please let me know in the comment section. Probably you have come across a wooden shoe last here in Nigeria that is majorly for female in sizes of 40, 41 or so. But now that you are buying them in male form, they are actually male, majority are male. Even those ones that you buy at size 38, you find out that some of them are quite wide and some of them are perfectly okay for your size 38, and then you go down like that, including children wooden shoe last here. You find out that majority of them perfectly fit male children than female children. I don't know what you bought, but as far as the ones I have worked with, that's my observation. I want you to know that I'm talking from my own personal observation. This isn't a general opinion. So you can also work on yours and see how it goes. So for me, the wooden last here in Nigeria are majorly for boys, are majorly for men. So when you buy, you have to learn to work on them to be able to use for women. For example, you find out that your size 40 shoe lines might not work perfectly for a size 40 female, which means at the end of the day, you might be using it for size 41 female. Please, like I said, I'm talking out of the few experience that I have, knowing fully well that when it comes to shoe last, especially the wooden shoe last we buy in Nigeria here, most of them don't have regular shapes. Yes, I know sometimes you are so fortunate you have the two legs to be the same thing, but I find that most of them are not having a very good, regular shape. The instep is different, the vamp is different, and you're just wondering what is this all about. So it means you have to really pay a lot of attention to that. I would just advise, this is my advice, if you're buying a wooden shoe last, buy your size. Buy your size. Start with your size. Now the reason I'm saying that is because if I wear size 40, for example, I will make sure I buy size 40. This is to help you to be able to guide you on what to do when you're relating with your customer, creating a footwear for your customer. Now, buy your size, like I said. Yes, buy your size. You want to know why? Then keep watching. So I asked you to buy your size because of this. But when you buy your size, use it to create your footwear. Use it to whatever style, just make sure you last it. Of course, don't bottom, just last. When you finish lasting it with that particular last that you bought, that of course what they wrote on it is your size. It doesn't mean it's going to end up being your size. That's just the truth. So the experiment you can actually do is buy your size. Buy a friend size. Buy, you just make sure you buy a size that you have somebody that you can compare it with. You have to learn to do experiments when it comes to the shoe last when you buy them. That's the simple truth. I hear people ask me questions such as, what should be the instep for a size 45? What should be the instep for a size 40? Now let me tell you something. When it comes to the wooden shoe last, it's also applicable to the plastic shoe last. I'm going to be going into the plastic shoe last as well. It's also applicable to the plastic shoe last, so that you will not think, oh, if I'm buying a plastic shoe last, the instep is going to be perfect, the vamp is going to be perfect. Don't be deceived. You know the reason? We have all those shoe laces customized in one way or the other for a particular set of foot. I mean, some for wide foot, some for slim foot. So if you're not sure of what it is, you just get there. Oh, you saw, oh, they wrote size 8 on this one. Okay, size 8. It means it's going to be size 41. And you just carried it and took it home just like that. I'm sorry. You may find out that it will not size perfectly that your size 41 that you think the size 8 is meant for. So, like I said, buy your size, or probably somebody close to you size that when you are true, they can wear it. So when you finish lasting the footwear, put your foot inside. Probably you bought your size. Put your foot. Does it size you perfectly? Of course, you wear size 40. Does it size you? If it doesn't size you perfectly well, then you know. If it's too small, probably your feet is not entering. It means that there is likelihood that it will not size somebody who is actually wearing size 40 like you. Or it's going to actually size people who wear size 39. Big 39, but small 40. All these things, you have to run with them. So many times you think people just come with an idea and they have an idea about something and it's just in their head. No. As far as I'm concerned, for every business you run, learn to experiment. Yes, that is why most times when people ask me questions about the vamp and the insteps of shoe last, what I ask you is, do you have a store you want to keep them? Because you must have a chart. You have a shoe size chart. That is the first thing. Then you have to understand what set of people you are targeting. Is it a wide fit? Is it a slim fit? That will guide you on the kind of shoe last you want to work on, how you want to do your experiments and work and see how you can manage, okay, people's feet and the So by the time you find out that it's not sizing you, it perfectly means that's what it means. You can use that as a yardstick. Try someone else who wears 40. You have to experiment. That is one major things that Nigerians, we don't want to do. You don't want to experiment in your business. You have to. That is why you have an accumulated experience that people will be coming to pay to actually receive, knowledge from you. So it's not like you just want to sit down and collect people's money and make footwear and it's not sizing them. We don't want to experiment. Some people think, okay, buying plastic shoe last. Now let me go to plastic shoe last. If you buy plastic shoe last, there are plastic shoe last for men and there are plastic shoe last for women. That's so distinct. You find them wide. Of course, men's foot are always wide. Our own tends to be narrow when you get to that arc part of that sole. So it's not something that you should even negotiate. Even if you ask for women's shoe last, plastic shoe last, of course it's readily available, but I find out that when it comes to plastic shoe last, it's quite expensive, so to say, in Nigeria. Some for 8,000 naira, some for 9,000 naira. I don't know of other countries, but I'm sure of Nigeria. And if you're going to ship from other countries, you find out that the shipping cost is actually much more than you actually buying the item itself, I mean the shoe last itself. So I want you to know that you cannot run a shoemaking business without you having like a research section, like yes, you do research. One section what must be for research, or we are looking at, okay, people with wide feet. You have to sample people with wide feet, customize a shoe last for them. Yes, if you buy size 40 shoe last, for example, and it's not sizing somebody who wears a wide feet, it means you have to learn to know how to pad them. You have to learn how to see, okay, I can add, some leather to the upper parts, to the instep, so that, okay, it can perfectly fit. If you are going to actually be padding them up, you can pad them with so many things. You can pad them with your veg tan, you can pad them with your Mako, yes, you can pad them with, thick leathers if you don't have a veg tan. So all those things, by the time you do them perfectly well and you find out it's perfectly sizing that person with a wide fit, some for another person with the same size or different sizes, and then you can perfectly say, oh, this is a customized shoe last for my business. Please don't generalize it. When you borrow somebody, or when somebody comes to borrow your shoe last, for example, the person might not be able to get a perfect size, because they don't know how you have been able to work on them to suit the sizes you actually want. So now that you're already on class in plastic, and of course plastic, and like I said, you have plastic for men, you have for women. It's only when it comes to wooden last here in Nigeria that I find out that so many that I've seen, especially for sandals. Please, I need you to listen to me and listen well. Especially for sandals, when it comes to covered shoe for women, yes, there are shoe last. Their shoe last is totally different from, the wooden shoe last is totally different. So it is with the plastic shoe last. So try to create a research room where you do comparison, people's faith, whichever shoe last you bought. If you bought for 39 and it's not sizing 39, and you find out that when you use it to make for size 38, it works perfectly well, customize it as your own size 38. So each time you are producing a size 38 shoe last, you can definitely use that as your own size 38 shoe last. So I don't want you to limit yourself. So many of us just think that the truth is that even if I tell you a particular instep, you'll find out that so many people are wearing size 45, for example. You have people wearing size 45, especially men. You bought a shoe last and it's meant for size 45, and you find out that some people's feet are so wide that size 45 you bought is not perfectly fitting them. So it's not a perfect fit for all sizes. Please, shoe last isn't a perfect fit for all sizes. No, you bought a shoe last and it has size 25. Doesn't mean that whether you use it to last a size 25 for somebody, it will fit that person. And it doesn't mean when you use for another person, it would not fit that person. So that is the place for a research room in your business when it comes to shoemaking. So if you have any questions, you still have more questions you would love me to actually answer, please go to the comment section right away and ask your question. And if this has been able to help you, I need you to know when it comes to shoe last, you definitely need a research section. That's what I teach my students. I teach them intent. You have to do it. Start with your shoe last. Start with your daughter's size if you want to work with children. Now, I remember I bought a particular shoe last, and what was written on it is size 21. I'm telling you, size 21. It's so unfortunate that if somebody who is a beginner pick up that and use size 21, in short, the child won't be able to wear it. You'll be wondering why he's looking like that. It works perfectly well for size 25. And in my classes, what I teach is, if you have a shoe last, you can use it to do so many other sizes. There is a way you can actually adjust it without having to add anything to it, and yet to be able to do other sizes. The same thing is applicable with your feet. If you wear 40, you can use your leg to actually lie size 39. Of course, not all designs, not all designs, at least a few designs that you can change, that you can work with. You can still use your foot and them to adjust and to work on all of that. If this has really helped you, please let me know in the comment section. Click a like button, please like this. So if you've learned something new, let me know in the comment section what you have hearing it and doing this kind of experiment and research like I said. Thank you so much for watching today. If you're watching this channel for the first time, basically what I do on Thursdays is I give us 1 or 2 talks on how to grow our business as a shoemaker, and whatever business you are into, we go with diversify and help ourselves to grow. And on Tuesdays and on Saturdays, we basically learn the heart of shoemaking. We create designs, we create hoppers, and we also teach ourselves how to last, how to bottom, and how to finish our product perfectly well. So thank you for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave this channel. Please subscribe to my channel, press the notification bell so that each time I upload a video you will be notified. Thank you once again for joining me today, and I still remain your most wealthy shoemaking made easy tutor, Odurole Mojibola. I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.